Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, from whom all blessings flow, who declareth thou glory and showeth forth thou handiwork in the heavens and in the earth. Lord God, we beseech thee with thy gracious favor to behold our universities, college, and schools, that knowledge might be increased among us, and all good learning flourish and abound. Bless all who teach and all who learned, and grant this, that in humility of heart they may ever look unto thee, who art the fountain of all wisdom. Remembering, O God, the labor of love of those who merit a reward. This I ask in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And now we will have Arnaya Needleman sing the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as a rolling sea. Sing a song full of faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has taught us. Facing the rising sun of the new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won.
I think we should give her another round of applause. That was beautiful. Now I'd like to present to you our Associate Dean, David King, who will give a few remarks.
Good evening. Dean Saxton would very much have liked to have been here. He is unable to, but he gave me a letter that he asked me to read to all of you here, so that's what I'll do. Dear colleagues and honored guests, I am very sorry that I am unable to join you at this Thurgood Marshall Awards ceremony, the 24th we have hosted here at the law school. I have to give a report at the Connecticut Bar Foundation's annual meeting this evening, and the timing of the two events will not allow me to be here at the law school to welcome our guests and congratulate our honorees. I have asked David King to stand in for me, and I requested that he read this brief letter. To our honored guests, thank you for attending this evening. To Stacia and the other officers and members of BALSA, thank you for your work planning and putting together tonight's program, And congratulations on another successful year of BALSA activities and programs. And finally, to Mr. Kenneth Reels and Dr. Nadia Ward, please accept my personal congratulations on your recognition this evening. We in the law school community thank you for your many contributions in service to our communities over the years. We honor your dedication to the values and ideals that the Thurgood Marshall Award celebrates. And I thank you for the inspiration that your example provides for our students. Congratulations. Best wishes, Brad Saxton. I've been told never to attempt to top anything the dean says, so I won't, outside of extending my own very warm welcome to all of you, and I hope you enjoy the evening.
I feel like I just keep walking back and forth, but moving along. We will have one of our first-year students, Choma Onyewuchi, recite the poem Still I Rise by Miss Maya Angelou. Sorry.
Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my room? Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes? Shoulders falling like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my ties? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, Iberian the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Thank you.
And now to present our Community Service Award, our second-year student, Giovanni Ruffin.
Good evening, everyone. A visionary. Dr. Nadia Ward has a vision. She has a vision that children will be afforded the opportunity to thrive academically so that they may attend colleges and universities. And understanding. Dr. Ward understands the importance of one's education, the empowerment that comes from an education, the understanding that children who are less fortunate still deserve a chance. Genuine care and concern. I had the opportunity to speak with some of Dr. Ward's colleagues, and they all expressed how dedicated, warm, and kind Dr. Ward is. That she approaches every day with an indescribable drive and sense of hope. Dr. Nadia Ward is an assistant professor in the Division of Prevention and Community Research at the Department of Psychiatry at Yale University School of Medicine. She currently serves as the Director of Urban Education, Prevention, and Policy Research. Dr. Ward completed her doctorate training at the University of Pittsburgh in 1995. And her extensive work in the area of urban education and prevention has spanned over 15 years. This work includes training and consultation to universities, public school systems, and private organizations. Dr. Ward has worked extensively with high-risk and high-achieving urban youth and their families to develop an academic enrichment and competence-enhancing substance abuse prevention programs in both schools and community settings. Since 1999, Dr. Ward has been engaged in an ongoing collaboration with the State Department of Higher Education, as well as Bridgeport, Hartford, and New Haven public schools. Her work entails designing and evaluating academic, social, and behavioral interventions that promote functioning and resilience among urban minority adolescents. And this work is aimed at reducing risk associated with school failures and other negative developmental outcomes. This work has led to the development of research intervention, for which Dr. Ward has been awarded $6.9 million by the U.S. Department of Education to support her work in the area of urban school reform in the Bridgeport public schools. Her intervention has been implemented in 32 schools in Connecticut and 11 schools in New York. Since this project's inception, Dr. Ward has intervened and assisted over 20,000 students in Connecticut. Her work has expanded to include the developmental aspects of comprehensive school transitions that target 9th and 10th grade students. This intervention will also serve all freshmen and sophomore students in the New Haven and Bridgeport public school systems. That's approximately 4,500 students in total. These students will be tracked throughout high school and into their first year of college, and this project will be funded by the Connecticut Department of Higher Education. Dr. Ward's motto is to make it happen. She's made it happen in the lives of our youth, and she will continue to make it happen in their lives and their success towards their future. It gives me great pleasure and honor to congratulate Dr. Ward for her many accomplishments. Dr. Ward has also offered and afforded students at Quinnipiac University, myself being one, an opportunity to work on her project, which we are very thankful for. I ask that everyone please rise and join me in introducing the 2010 Community Service Award recipient, Dr. Nadia Ward.
Thank you so much. Giovanni's a little bit taller than I. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here this evening and for this very prestigious award. I had some remarks planned, but given what I have experienced thus far this evening, we're going to go to Plan B, which is much more authentic given what I'm feeling. I'm feeling a little bit emotionally stirred by this presentation this evening, and thank you, Giovanni. She is an outstanding young lady, and so appreciate her and so many aspects of the work that we do to support young people in Connecticut. But let me share with you, I'm not confused about who I am and where I come from. My grandfather was a coal miner and lived in Edenbourne, Pennsylvania, which is a little town south of Pittsburgh near the Mason-Dixon line. My grandfather had what we think was probably about a 4th grade education. He couldn't read, couldn't write. My grandmother, LaVon, his wife, on my mother's side, had about an 8th grade education. They raised 5 daughters, and of those 5 daughters, Blanche, my mother, all of them completed a high school education, which was wonderful. My mother remembers when the Brown versus Board of Education decision was made. She was in high school. And she talked to me a lot about what that meant for her and her life. And being a coal miner's daughter, it wasn't necessarily expected that she'd go on to have a higher education. She desired to be a nurse. And those dreams were deferred. But she was really clear about the messages that she gave to me and the work that I wanted to do. And she insisted that I get a college education and that my brothers get a college education. And all of us have college degrees, advanced degrees, and I'm the first in my family to receive a doctorate, right? And that has a lot to do with what it is that was going on in this country and what Thurgood Marshall had to do for us as a people. So I appreciate that time in our history and what that has afforded us, for sure. And so appreciate how that vision and that inspiration in his life and his legacy has inspired me to do the work that I do. And so when we embarked on this journey in 1999, when the U.S. Department of Higher Ed, or the Connecticut State Department of Higher Ed, asked us to begin this work in Connecticut, we had a lot of passion about that, and we had some vision, but we had absolutely no idea how much work that was going to take to touch the lives of the young people in Connecticut. And we started working with about 150 students, Cindy Crusto knows, in Bridgeport, Hartford, and New Haven, in each of those districts as an after-school program. And inside of about 3 months, that program grew to us serving 2,000 students every year and years thereafter. And so, as Giovanni shared, to date, we've served about 22,000 young people, have trained about 357 young people like Giovanni, teachers and guidance counselors, and have learned a lot in that process. And here's the main thing that we've learned, right? Kids learn through having authentic relationships with people. That's the bottom line. They learn when they recognize that there are people that love them and care about them and want to spend time with them and can motivate them and inspire them to dream about what possibility that exists for them. That's what we really do. We love kids. And so I feel like I wake up every day and I'm blessed to have a job that I love. I am blessed to have the people around me to support me in this work, many of whom are sitting right here in this audience, and that is such a testament to their exceptional character and their integrity. And I appreciate all y'all for being here tonight with me to celebrate this incredible event. But I will share that the inequities that exist in our American education system are pervasive and persist, and it will require all of our collective effort and all of our energy and all of our abilities to be able to make a difference in the lives of the young people that we so care about and their families. And so I have hope as I look out into the audience and I see all of you here at QUU law students who are championing the social justice issues that face the young people and the families that we so care about, those vulnerable communities. And so I have hope for tomorrow, that I know that all of us will be working on this issue together. So I want to just say thank you to Quinnipiac University, and thank you to the Black Law Students Association for recognizing our work, and hopefully we'll continue our ongoing collaboration. Thank you so much.
We just wanted to thank you again for accepting the award, and it's a pleasure to have you here with us. We will now have one of our first-year students, Clarissa Matthews, sing a song for you, some entertainment.
dark is the night, I can weather the storm. Never say die, I've been down this road before. I'll never quit, I'll never lay down. See, I promised myself that I'd never let me down. I'll never give up, I'll never give in, never let a ray of doubt slip in. And if I fall, I'll never fail, I'll just get up and try again. Never lose hope, never lose faith, there's much too much at stake. Upon myself I must depend. I'm not looking for place to show I'm gonna win. No stopping now, there's still a ways to go. Oh, some way, somehow, whatever it takes, I know I'll never quit, no, no. I'll never go down. I'll make sure they remember my name 100 years from now. I'll never give up, never give in, never let a ray of doubt slip in. And if I fall, I'll never fail, I'll just get up and try again. Never lose hope, never lose faith, there's much too much at stake. Upon myself I must depend. I'm not looking for place to show I'm gonna win. When it's all said and done, my once in a lifetime will be back again. Now is the time to take a stand. Here is my chance, that's why I'll never give up, never give in, never let a ray of doubt slip in. And if I fall, I'll never fail, I'll just get up and try again. Never lose hope, never lose faith, there's much too much at stake. Upon myself I must depend. I'm not looking for place to show I'm gonna win.
I just wanted to thank Clarissa for getting up here and singing. She wasn't told until maybe Monday that Stacia had put her in the program, because our president, who was trying to escape, she goes by the motto, if she doesn't ask and she just tells you you're doing it, then you will do it. If she asks, you have the opportunity to say no, which is why I am standing here right now. And now, our faculty advisor, Professor Marilyn Ford, which many of you may know since she knows pretty much everyone, she was supposed to be giving some remarks, but she got held up in Washington, D.C., so she won't be giving any remarks because she's not here. So I guess we will keep moving along with the program and have our third-year student, Naomi Phillip, present the Thurgood Marshall Award.
Good evening. Thank you all once again for coming to tonight's award. Tonight, I have the privilege and honor of introducing the 24th recipient of the Thurgood Marshall Award. Tonight's recipient is currently the Vice Chairman of Gaming at Foxwoods Casino. He was also the Chairman of the Mashantucket Pequot Tribe from 1998 to 2003, in addition to holding many other elected offices within the tribe. I first heard of tonight's recipient when I was taking Professor Ford's Native American course in the fall of 2008, where I learned that tonight's recipient played an integral part in the federal government recognizing the Mashantucket Pequot tribe as a sovereign nation. He has advocated zealously for his tribe as Thurgood Marshall has for his people. In January 2001, he received the State of Connecticut Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Commission's Humanitarian Award for his commitment to human values, interests, and concerns. In April 2002, he was recognized as Man of the Year by Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation for being a role model, and his commitment to his health and well-being of the tribe. In March 2002, he received the Tribal Leadership Award by Henry C. Lee Institute of Forensic Science Annual Arnold Markles Symposium. In October 2003, the Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated awarded him Kappa Achievement Award for professional accomplishment and outstanding service to the greater Hartford community. In March 2004, the National Conference for Community and Justice of Connecticut and Western Massachusetts Region, Greater Hartford Chapter President, presented the Human Relations Award to him in recognition of his high standard of responsible citizenship and leadership, and in recognition of his contribution to promoting understanding, tolerance, and cooperation in our increasingly diverse community. And tonight, added to the long list of awards, he will receive the Thurgood Marshall Award for his major contribution in ensuring that all Native Americans across the nations are federally recognized, fairly treated, and justly compensated. After speaking with family and friends of Mr. Reels, I learned that he is not only a man of awards and accomplishments, that in addition to his many accolades, he is a kind, loving, and generous man who will literally give his shirt off his back to those in need. Whether it be helping take care of a dear friend who is in the hospital or buying toys for eagle children on Christmas morning so they do not wake up disappointed. So on behalf of the Black Law Student Association and Quinnipiac University School of Law, I present the 24th Thurgood Marshall Award to Mr. Kenneth Reels.
Thank you, thank you. I'm a resident all throughout Indian country. They just consider me a rambler. So I'll do what I do best. But actually, I just always call myself just a country boy. And that's all I'm ever going to be. That's all I ever want to be. I just feel like I'm blessed. And coming from a family of 14 in the same household, and sharing everything and having one toy to share with all the boys. Until I got older, I didn't realize how much of a struggle my mother was really going through to raise us. And that's why, you know, I give her all the respect in the world. It's through, I think, our families that, you know, we grow into who we are today, because it's family, taking care of family, looking out for the kids and looking out for each other, will help us grow and pass along the values and principles, what was taught to them. And if you struggled a lot, then usually what was passed on to you, some of the values was self-determination, charity, humility, endurance, and self-motivation. And that's what I got from my mother. I didn't know till I was older some of her struggles. And we always had food, we always had clothing, clean clothing, and we never knew that we didn't have money or a lot of money. I just know we was always happy. And it's because of her, my mother's raising us the way she did, with all that unconditional love. And I think that's because she got that love from Jehovah God. You know, I believe she has Jehovah God's love all throughout her. And she was able to pass that down to us and try to teach us not to judge other people. And when you catch yourself, to stop doing it. Don't count food. Just be thankful that you have clothes and food. So like with all the awards what I've received through the years, I didn't try to do anything except just be myself, just be caring and sharing and be humble. And I like to read about successful people and what makes them successful. I like to analyze, what makes people successful. And I love to dream, because when you're poor and you're coming up and everybody has and you don't have what they have, you dream about having it. So my mother, we used to always window shop a lot. So, you're always dreaming, you're looking and you're dreaming. But it's great because it means you have to work for it. I knew from an early age I had to work. And I knew if I wanted my mother to have anything, because she would always give everything to us, and that means she went without. I knew that as a child around 12 years old when I was working. If I wanted her to have something, we would window shop, and I would watch her eyes and see when she looks in the window if she likes something. And then we would look at what size her clothes was or whatever, and then we would get it, because if we gave her the money, she would spend it on us. So, because that's, your mother to me is everything. You're a seed inside her. You're nurtured for 9 months roughly, and that bond just never goes away. And I just think man is not complete without that rib. And I just thank God for my mother, and they call her Mother Earth. And I definitely would not be where I am without my mother. And I don't really feel like I did anything in life, to be honest. I feel like there's always so much more to do. I actually feel bad that there's a lot of people and a lot of organizations I can't help. And then with my health being not the best over the last couple of years, as I've been getting closer to Jehovah God, I know that my health is coming back and my strength is coming back and my spirit is coming back, and also my freedom is coming back, which means that, then you can give more of yourself naturally, willingly. And that's the best way to give, is when you're not even trying to give. And I also am very honored to be standing up here and receiving an award with Nadia, because Nadia, it's amazing how I go all over the world and I run into people who's in my backyard and don't know it until I'm way out in the middle of wherever, Asia or somewhere. Nadia is working with our CAT program at the tribe. She's working with Honey Collins and my cousin, second cousin, Tina Menahan, my oldest niece. No, she's not. My oldest niece, Dashelle, is. And Michelle Scott. But that's 3 women. That's 3 ladies. And as I look at a Quinnipiac School of Law, and I'm looking around me and I'm looking at all the ladies, and just Maryland is here as far as I'm concerned, because she's within all of you. And I know Maryland very well. And so as I see you walking the way you carry yourself, I see Maryland all throughout you. And we have great mentors. We learn from them, and then we, like Bruce Lee, we take it and we put it into our own style. It creates our own individuality, and it helps us to reach out and touch somebody and plant our seed and teach other people how to grow and how to be successful, how to dream and the importance of dreaming, and that there's nothing that you can't do. My mother only wanted one thing when I was coming up. She always said, Kenny, just get me that diploma. That's all, just get me that diploma. And it was rough back then, because that's at that age where the girls, you notice the girls and everything else happening all around you. And I'd be nice because my mom's here. And but it was so important that I get that diploma and be able to deliver it to my mother. And when I graduated, I wasn't really yelling and jumping because I graduated. I was yelling because I had the diploma in my hand and I could hand it over to my mother. And so right after I graduated in '78, the first thing I did is ran to her in the audience and said, "Here, Mom," gave her a hug and a kiss and said, "I'm out." And but no, my mother has taught me that there is no low you can't get up from, and that as many times as you get knocked down, and you will get knocked down all through life, but actually it made her stronger. And that's what I seen. I look at my sisters out here, the bond they have, and they're with my mother all the time, and they're always watching the grandchildren. It's just a different society today. And we need the old school parenting back, and that love. And so I just want to dedicate everything what I do. I try to dedicate it to Jehovah God and then to my mother, because she's the one who took care of me so I could be here. And I just hope that, I can take care of her as she gets older, like she took care of me coming up. And I just want to say to the school, thank you very much for thinking about me. It's a real honor. And to receive an award, I belong to the NAACP of Greater New Haven. I'm in Greater Hartford area, New Haven, Middletown, New London, and Norwich. And I forgot which ones I have lifetime members. But some years I participate in them more than others. And but I feel it's very important to be associated with them, because I think that the struggle is real, and it hasn't changed because Obama's in office. If anything, it's going to make it even harder. But it does show that you can dream and dreams can come through, but it just means we're going to just have to work a little bit harder to get to where we want to be. And it does the one main thing for me, and that is it lets everybody know, dream, reach for the skies, be all you can be, dream it, and then just work on a plan day by day, and work your plan day by day, and modify your plan. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody get in your way. If they do, that's why I love my native name, Running Water. You can't stop it. You might can slow it down, but you won't stop it. And so all I would say to everybody and all the students, just continue to dream, and we need you in the courtrooms, and we need you there fighting for our rights, our people's rights, all people's rights, and we also need you there as judges. So please keep up the good work, and tell Professor Ford, give her a hug for me, and I'm going to ask her too, so thank you.
I hope everyone was listening to what Mr. Reels had to say. It was very inspiring, and if I give you a call during finals, which will be in about 3 to 4 weeks, you know why I'm calling. I need some inspiration because it's really bad. We will now have our second-year student, Sylvia Knox-Delamar, who has some presentations that she was looking to make.
Good evening. I'm Sylvia Knox-Delamar. I was supposed to be giving out 2 very important presentations to some very important people to Quinnipiac University School of Law and the Black Law Student Association. Isaiah Diaz and Tushar Shaw are 2 attorneys who graduated from Quinnipiac Law maybe 3 years ago. And both of them, they're both on trial this week, and unfortunately could not be here tonight. But we cannot let this night go by without still publicly recognizing their commitment to this law school and to the Black Law Student Association. When I came into Quinnipiac as a first-year student, I had a burning desire to be an attorney. And boy, this school is whipping us into shape. And I still have that desire. And one of the things that I wanted to do, as well as my colleagues, Giovanni Ruffin, Leanne Silva and Marsha Beckford, all of us wanted to get into the courtroom and try our hands at mock trial. And as 1Ls, that's no small feat when you have not had evidence. And so we spoke to a 3L student at the time, Ramsey, and she suggested that we reach out to some alumni to come back and to coach us to compete. And we reached out to Tushar Shaw, and he was very happy to come back and to coach us. And we sort of lied to him and told him that we would have a 3L on the team. And he was like, oh, okay, great. So when they show up at the first practice, he and Isaiah, and they learn that we're all 1Ls and don't know anything and haven't had evidence, you know, they were like, okay, this is going to be interesting. But they did not back down. They were very happy and eager to help us. And even being new lawyers, even being in court, even having long weekends, coming in with case briefs and files and being on trial, they were here 3 nights a week, on Saturdays or on Sundays all day to support us. And we went and we competed. We had a good time. We didn't win, but that's okay. The experience was phenomenal. And this year we came back as second-year students to compete again, and they were there again for us. And not only were they there for us, the 4 of us, we invited 4 new 1Ls to join us. Shioma, Clarissa, Wordy Sampson, and Matthew McColdrick. So this time we took 8 students to compete. And our coaches were there for us every step of the way. And that's what Thurgood Marshall is all about. It's about giving back. It's about remembering where you came from and not being afraid to help others. And I appreciate Tushar and Isaiah for doing that for us and not, you know, counting it robbery to be a part of that. And they're still working diligently and have signed up for another year to come back and coach again. So we appreciate them so much. In your program, on the first page, it says, today's Constitution is a realistic document of freedom only because of several corrective amendments. Those amendments speak to the decency and fairness that I and other blacks cherish. I read that, and it almost brought me to tears when I think about everything that everyone before me went through so that we could have the freedom and the liberties that we have today. We cannot take that for granted. And we must accept the charge of giving back. I accept it, and I'm sure that all the students here accept that charge of giving back. Otherwise, we would not be on the pursuit to be attorneys. So thank you, Tushar. Thank you, Isaiah. In your absence, we appreciate you.
I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my co-counsel, Giovanni Ruffin. We killed the team that we went up against in mock trial this year, but we didn't advance, but at least we beat them. Anyways. And now we'll have our president, Stacia Robinson, come up and give a few remarks.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to say congratulations again to Dr. Ward and Mr. Kenneth Reels. Your work definitely deserve recognition. I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out to this ceremony this evening, and thank you for coming out to celebrate Thurgood Marshall in March. We always celebrate Thurgood Marshall and all of our civil rights leaders in February in Black History Month, but it's great to also celebrate them beyond the month of February. Thank you again for joining us. I just want to say another special thanks to a few people: Dean Saxon in his absence, Dean Wiley, Dean King, Diane Bryant, Georgiana Coleman. Thank you so much for being here. I have a special presentation to make this evening. This is my second term as boss of president. And for both years, yes, she has always been there to help. And every time I needed help with anything, she's always been there. Any question I had, she's always been there. I tell her that she runs the school, but she doesn't think so. So Miss Diane Bryant, please come forward. Miss Diane Bryan has been a tremendous help in helping to plan Thurgood Marshall both last year and this year, and she's just been a support to Balsa throughout the years. I would like to say thank you to Giovanni and Leanne for your hard work on the ceremony this evening and for all the planning that you put in. And of course, I would like to recognize the Balsa members. They're all sitting in this area over here. And a Balsa alumni, Atia Samples here, stand and be recognized, Atia. Thank you for coming back and celebrating with us. And the president of Quinnipiac Black Student Union is here, Shayna. Thank you for coming. And in her absence, of course, I would like to recognize Professor Marilyn Ford. She is, she's my hero, of course. She's Balsa's biggest supporter, and she is always there for us. And in her absence, I definitely have to recognize Professor Marilyn Ford. I'm sure most of you in here know Professor Marilyn Ford. She is a force to be reckoned with, okay? She is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And last but not least, I would like to introduce you to the 2010-2011 Balsa Executive Board. These people will be leading the Quinnipiac Balsa in effectuating change in the legal community in our area. We had elections this week, and they don't know who they are yet, so I am just standing recognized. Next year's president will be Leanne Silver. And her right hand will be Giovanni Ruffin. And the money lady, the treasurer, will be Marsha Beckford. And secretary will be Matt McGoldrick. He's not here, he had to work this evening. The regional representative, Clarissa Matthews. Community service chair will be Leslie Spence. She's actually in class right now. And the social chair will be Chioma Onyewushi. These people will be leading Balsa next year, and I expect great things from them. And I would like to thank everybody for coming again, and please join us in the lobby for a dessert reception, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you again.